What's up guys, welcome back to my channel Cat Loves Succulents, and today we're finally going to talk about soil mixes and what I use for my succulents, so keep watching.
Something about you feels so special, prettier from the minute that I met you.
What's up guys, welcome to another video of Cat Loves Succulents. So today I am finally doing my most requested topic, which is my soil mix and what I use and how I clean up my succulent before I pot it, and also where I put it on my shelf afterwards and why I do that. So today I'm gonna pot up this cutie here. She is a little morning beauty. I do have her as a big version, but I don't have her as one on my shelf yet, so I thought this would be a good one to do for my video. So as you can see, she's very dry at the moment, and that's how it should be. So remember that when you guys do repot your stuff, make sure that it is very dried out. So I think I've left her for about a month. I completely forgot about her, and I just remembered, oh, I have one to be potted up. So I wanted to include her in my video with you guys because she would be a great example for potting and the soil mixes that I use, like I said. So what I pretty much do is I make sure that they are very dry, and I'm gonna get a little box or something easy to show you guys, but pretty much all I do is, let's just say this is my rubbish bin, right? So what I do is I just get her out, simple, super simple. I kind of like, you know, the best reason like to have them dry is because they also come out really easy, and you're not going to be like tugging and pulling on anything for it to just completely come apart, because we just don't want that to happen to our succulent, right? So look at her, she's like coming out so easy because she's dry. So that's what we want. So now that I have her like this, right, all I'm gonna do is completely clean her up. And I'm gonna do that for you, but I think I might speed it up a little bit because this might take me a while. I do really sit here and I become very OCD and get rid of majority of the soil that's in here. Remember, when you do clean it up, she will have some kind of feathery, really thin ones at the bottom, and that's okay to get rid of them hairy ones, that's fine. We really are trying to get them really strong, mature roots from them already. So, you know, you clean them up. So I really get in and I really try and get rid of all that soil mix that, you know, was in this succulent already, because like I said on my last video with the fungus, you really got to clean it up because you don't know what they used on their stuff. And usually when you buy succulents like from like a retailer or somewhere that sells a lot of succulents, they use pretty much like the basic succulent mix, which is just like what you get in Bunnings. But because I am not that type of person, and you know, I hope my viewers kind of, you know, get into the hang of using really good quality stuff, you know, I want to show you guys that really clean it out, clean up your succulents, because we just don't want to like affect them, you know what I mean? So also I'm going to remove her dead leaves at the bottom because, you know, they're gonna fall off anyway, but I might as well clean them up. But, you know, just so by the time she actually gets potted, she's at that perfect stage already. So we are looking for something that looks bare root like this, right? So that's the type that you get when it's when you're buying from a retailer, or especially here in Australia. But I do know, for example, like, oh, my mom's home country, like the Philippines and stuff like that, you know, they do sell a lot of their stuff with no roots. So if you do get places that have no roots, then you got to keep watching to my next video and stuff, because I will be explaining how to do it when it's a cutting. But today we're going to be talking about it when it's like with roots, right? So I'm gonna get close. I'm gonna do a close-up for you guys and show you guys the soil mixes and explain them to you and what their names are, why I use it. But trust me, I'm not gonna get scientific because that's not me. So let's keep going. So guys, now that we have our succulent prepared and cleaned up and real bare rooted like this, right? So like I said, we really want to clean it up and not have any of that previous soil mix that she was in. So on my previous video about fungal, this girl has been sprayed, right? So she has been in her previous pot for a month, like I said, but during that time when I did quarantine her, she has been sprayed. So you can see that she does have a few of the markings still left in her from the fungal spray. But look, I'm not worried about that. So all you need for this is tongs and scissors. Really simple. And we're going to use a pot, any kind of pot that you like for them. Like I said, I do like the mini pot, so that's how I pot everything. So all I'm using is any bits of my shade. I just cut it off, and I do make sure that it is doubled up, because mine in particular is the 50% shade cloth, so it does have a few holes in it when it's just one piece. So what we're really looking for is something that's going to let the water drain out but keep the soil mix in. So you could use chicken wire, people use fly screens, anything like that. So whatever's really available for you, but really just have the ability to drain the water and keep your soil. So now on to my soil mix. Okay, so guys, this is my soil mix. I've laid it out for you guys to really see what I use. I know some people might be like, oh, I don't think that's a good mix, or no, I don't want to use her mix. And honestly, it's totally up to you. I'm just letting you guys know what works for me, and just to give you guys some ideas of how to make a mix, like a proper mix for your succulents, right? So the main one I really do use is Mayfan. So Mayfan looks like this. I also use this as my topper in all of my pots as well. So I use Mayfan because it actually has really good minerals in it, which in particular is really good for plants in general. So another way, or another actually name that you can look for if you can't get your hands on Mayfan, is granite. So I think if you go to like them landscaping places, you could probably find it. I do go with this Mayfan because it's the size I want already, and it's just convenient, because like if you do go to the landscaping places, you're gonna have to like crush them down yourself. So Mayfan is very good to have for the mineral purposes, and it's used as a filtration already, guys. So Mayfan is actually really good to have. So these guys together are, whoops, I've mixed it, but the yellow stone and the brown stone is akadama and kanuma. So what I use, like first and foremost, they're pretty much my replacements for dirt soil. So because, like I said, and I have been very vocal about, I'm not really into dirt soils. I find that they cause a lot of root rot, and yeah, I'm just not about that. I just don't want to be dealing with that, right? So that's them put together. But if I show you up close, right? So akadama is actually a form of volcanic clay, right? So if you can't find akadama, another thing you can use is pumice. So if you can get your hands on pumice, I'm not quite sure if you can get them in Bunnings, but I think landscaping places for sure you'll find pumice, right? So that's actually really good to have, which is akadama. So with kanuma, kanuma is really good because it actually retains moisture, within itself, right? Besides that, it's actually very airy. So it actually, instead of having soil, let's say, which clumps up and really compacts together, kanuma actually lets the roots actually go through it. So so it's actually very good for air, for airflow. And when you actually use them both together, they're both very good for drainage, and that's really what we're looking for in our succulent mix, right? So also you need to remember kanuma is quite acidic. So if you look it up, kanuma is actually at that ideal pH already for your succulents. So I do really recommend to try and get your hands on Kanuma. I know that there are some places here in Sydney and all over Australia that are selling Kanumas. So have a look on there. Maybe you can look it on Google or maybe Facebook's, places like that, right? So when we have all three of these used together, Mayfan, Akadama, and Kanuma, right? Besides being the ideal substrate already for your succulents, the highlights that we actually really get are good airflow, ideal pH, and good drainage. And that's what we want for succulents, right? That's what they really thrive off and they do really well with, right? So the other type that I do use is a cultured soil. So I use this because in my experience, it seems to really encourage my succulents to grow more roots, to grow new roots, right? So I really find myself using cultured soil. So if you guys can get your hands on cultured soil or ask around for it, what is cultured soil, you know, you can go for that. And I really think it's good to have in your mix, right? So they are my 4 that I ideally use for all of my succulents, right? There's no succulent that I have in my collection that doesn't have all these 4 components already in it. And right, besides these 4s, I really do use a fertilizer. So every time I repot, I do put a fertilizer in it already. So try and get used to doing that, guys. It really, like, you know, when you move into somewhere, or like your succulents, for instance, move into a new home, it kind of has that that extra boost already to them to, you know, promote good, healthy succulents already once they have that that fertilizer in it. So some fertilizers that you can use, I actually have a tiny bit here, but I am a big thing of, oh, if I can move these rocks, of worm casting. So I have mentioned this in my video before. This is actually worm poop. Yes, it is. It does have a smell like poop, guys, if you are wondering. So I actually do use worm poop. Other people use Osmocote, and I do too. Honestly, I do too. I just find that using the worm castings, I prefer this better just because it's like the organic way for fertilizers instead of using like these manufactured ones already like Osmocote. So if you are one of my environmentally friendly viewers, this is the way to go. Go look for worm castings. That's the professional way. Or if you are some person like me, just say worm poop and you will find it, right? So that is my mix, guys, and that's pretty much actually all of it. It's not even pretty much, it is all I use on all of my succulents. So if someone tries to tell you that you need to use soil and soil is good and don't use this and don't use that, like, guys, this is my stuff, this is the basics, and this is all you need. I'm not going to school you on like you need all these different things and all these different kind of fertilizers and whatnot. Like, it's this simple. There is 4 mixes to my mixture, and it gets you, you know, to a place where you will be so happy with all of your succulents. So guys, this is it. Now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when I mix it together, and let's repot. Okay guys, so let's pot, right? So we have it already in, and let's get some soil, right? So the first thing I do is actually I put a little bit on the bottom to make sure that my mesh is stable. It's not going to move around. And I kind of just check first the height I want it to be at already. So I know she's not very long yet, so I can't really have her too low, because then her bottom leaves will hit, and I don't want her too high, just because, you know, we don't want too much sticking out and using too much soil. So a little bit more can go in, right, because we know that she is little. So now that we have quite a good amount of size, and I'm looking at it now, if I put her on the side, that, you know, I think this is a good amount for her. So, you know, let's just continue potting and I'll show you what she looks like at the end. So guys, now that she's in and I am happy with her position, all we got to do now is just add topper. So like I said, I use Mayfan as my topper. I'm not really into like decorative white stones or anything. It's not really my style, but if that's your style, just, you know, use that. But so pretty much she's going to sit like this, and we have just done our little succulent and she's ready to go, guys. So that's it, guys. That is my soil mix. So, you know, all I use is them four things. For all of the people that have messaged me and asked, Kat, what is your soil mix for, you know, the success I've had with my succulents? It's only their four things. So Mayfan, Kanuma, Akadama, and cultured soil. And my secret weapon, but not so much of a secret weapon anymore, and that's worm poop. So honestly, guys, for all the newbies, for people who are looking for a new soil mix, give mine a go. You know, like, there's no harm in trying, and honestly, I've had success. So before I finish, I want to show you my little morning beauty that has been potted with you guys. And look at her. She's just super cute and she's ready to go on my shelf. So until next time, please like all of my social medias for Kat Loves Succulents. And until the next video, guys, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell button. And I see you guys on my next video. See ya!
Something about you feels so special, prettier from the minute that I met you.